Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judgment. Another day with, of course, the panel that is here. Luke couldn't make it, so we got NJ to talk about Manchester City problem. We want to talk about how Liverpool are absolutely in the favorites to win the title, how they don't want to have chest, of course, like everyone is saying, but how the revolution of Arne Slot changed Liverpool completely, changed the way Curtis Jones was talking about Liverpool today. He was talking about the difference between Arne Slot and Jurgen Klopp, and he prefers Arne Slot. Big up everybody that is here. We'll also talk about Man City problems. Can they recover? Rodri is talking about the coming back this season. And are Arteta feeling the pressure? And also Chelsea and Maresca and the title. It's just a general discussion. And I'm here, of course, with Martin. You haven't done a show with me for a while.
Yeah, I've been busy, man.
You've been very, very busy. It's good
Real
you go on
life.
HUSAM's channel, yeah.
Yeah, I went on yesterday.
It's better, yeah, it's better. Talk with HUSAM.
That'd be
Yeah,
jealous.
But G is here, of course. HUSAM, of course, in the chat, of course, spreading propaganda. He is he's trying to keep Liverpool fans in check. I actually realize that's what he's doing. He's trying to convince Liverpool fans, right, to not talk about their chances of winning the title at all. By the way, doesn't give percentages, doesn't say that we can win he says we can win the title. But we'll talk about that, of course. G's here. G, that's not your first time here. You're muted, of course, G. Bottled it.
Bottled it. Nah, big up everyone. Big up everyone. Yeah, man, it should be a good conversation.
Yeah, 100%.
Stay humble, as they say. Stay humble and
humble,
get
huh?
there.
And Jamie is here. I haven't spoken with Jamie for a while. How are you, Jamie?
I'm doing good, and I will not be humble.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Salah. There's a lot about Salah's renewal actually talking. And NJ is here, second time on your channel. Big up, young man. How are you doing?
Yeah, thank you. Big up, Mo. I'm doing good. I'm here to represent Man City, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. And if Liverpool don't stay humble, maybe we can still catch them.
Surfer is here as well, ripping Maresca with Nkunku problems. He wants out. You're going to sell him to Man United, of course. They're going to make money off Nkunku. Watch Chelsea selling Nkunku to Man United with more money than what they paid for. Really. Big up everybody that's here. Guys, hit that like button. We got about 350 people here. We're just starting the show. If you're new to the channel, of course, subscribe. Where do we start? I'm going to let the people in the chat realize, guys, where do we start? Also, guys, we're only on 50 likes. Can we get to 200 likes right off the bat? Where do we start? The people decide. Liverpool, Arsenal, Arteta. The problem is if we start talking about Arsenal, it's going to take a while, right? I actually want to start with Manchester City, actually.
Oh, okay.
Because Terry said something when we were doing straight facts, and he said that everyone that says that City are the same as every year, and we see this every year, and we say Man City are the same, and they pick up in the second year, they aren't seeing the problems. Is anybody here? I'm going to start with NJ. Do you think this is the same year as every year? City are slow. Are they going to pick up in the second half?
I completely agree with you. Everyone that thinks that City's the same, like they usually are, we usually always have this rough patch around November, October going into December. It's not the same like it used to be. I think taking into consideration that Pep might be on his last year, if we look at Barcelona, the last year there, or even Bayern, it wasn't that great either. And we can just see that not only him not talking about maybe extending his contract, but then again, also the injury of Rodri and just the team not being fully available. And I think with that rough patch, which we usually have, because we always start off the season slow, and then Pep not extending and us not having all our players available, just shows that there's more issues than just us not playing at our best like we usually do.
Do you think City can recover though?
Yeah, I think we can recover.
Even
I think-
without buy in January?
No, I think we'll have to go into the market in January. I think we need a additional striker because Haaland had Alvarez to step up a couple of games, maybe start a few games, take him off earlier. But for now, he's been rinsed. He's been playing every game, 90 minutes, and extremely hard for us. You can see performances are going down. He started off sharp, had like 10 and 7, and ever since then, he's only scored 2. After the Arsenal game, he's only scored 2 more
Really? In
goals.
the last 4 games, he scored two goals only.
Yeah, which is like decent for any other striker, but for Haaland, that's definitely too little. And
Really?
then, yeah, we might need a backup striker. In my opinion, we need someone we can play instead of Haaland. I feel like Foden has been pushed into the striker position at the Carabao Cup. That did not work against Spurs. And we need, obviously, another holding midfielder. Rodri's out. Kova can't do the job at the level we need.
I
Gundo
was
can't-
speaking to Osam about this. People are saying that Kovacic is the bright star of City this season.
Yeah.
And I said offensively, yes, but defensively, you're wide open.
Exactly. Yeah. He has
So he's
been,
not the bright star of City
he
this
has
season
been-
then.
he's compared to everyone else, he's been one of the best performers, but that's very concerning as we usually play at a higher standard. So that's how I see it. So we need a holding midfielder and a striker. If not, I think it won't be enough to win the league unless Kevin De Bruyne has an all-time season again once he comes back from injury, or Foden shows his PFA Player of the Year performances. But that's not guaranteed as of now. So yeah.
Do you know what? I don't think enough was made out how bad Manchester City's transfer window was in the summer.
Yeah.
I don't think enough people made, like, they actually FSG. You know, it was mad. They made massive profits and didn't replace anybody. Like G will know this. We always get told if you've got no backup for so and so, you've got no backup for so and so. If you lose them, you're in shit. And when you've got no backup for a striker, your main striker, and no DM backup, and if one of them get injured, especially the way, I don't know what it is, the way Pep seems to have played now, where everything's on Haaland, like literally everything is on Haaland to do the business. And if you lose somebody, it's like he's struggling to find a way at the moment. And what made me take a little bit of notice is in the Brighton game, Pep made these subs first, I believe, if I remember rightly, but Brighton's subs were better. They were younger, they were quicker, they're arguably more techie, they were fresher. You know, Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne, quality footballers. Oh, absolutely, no doubt about it. Especially KDB, one of the greatest ever. But they looked old, they looked slow, they looked lethargic. And when Belieber came on, he just completely, absolutely outmuscled and beat up everyone in Man City's midfield. And I'm sitting there thinking, wow, you know, and I'm not saying City are a one-man team without Rodri, because that's what a lot of people were saying, but Rodri's the system. It's not like it's a one-man team, it's the system, and everyone works off it. And I think Pep's struggling to... And also, look, City are the best team in Europe. They've won 4 league titles in a row. Do the players feel like they can win 5 in a row at this moment in time as well? Are they... Now they're losing games. Have they got that thing between their teeth where they go, we're going to come back and win this game no matter what, how bad we're playing? Have they got that in their makeup right now? Because, you know, there is issues there. You got no goal scoring wingers. I think they're both very good wingers technically at taking players on and keeping possession, but they don't score goals. They barely create goals. And it's all. And as soon as Kevin De Bruyne came on against Brighton, so Haaland sort of changed. He started running into positions that he hasn't been running into lately because he knows Kevin's going to give him that ball. And when you see Kevin's legs when he came on, his legs were completely scarred up. That scar across his knee and all that. He's 33 years of age. City need a buy in the summer. There's no doubt about it.
Before we go on, yeah. Big up Lewis for the raid. Lewis, of course, Carefree Lewis. Big up Lewis for the raid. Thank you, Habibi. Appreciate you so much, people. Come on. Hit that like button, people, as AMG Gunnar is saying. Hit that like button. We got over 500 people here. So, guys, let's get to 200 likes. Yes, Jamie, listen. You know what the problem is with what you're saying, Jamie, is that I have seen this movie again. Kevin De Bruyne comes back, have like 20 assists, and Erling Haaland has 30 goals, and then...
Do you think it's different
right.
this year, though, Mo? Do you think it might be a bit different this year?
Kevin De Bruyne hasn't played. Yeah.
I don't know if he's got the legs to play 90 minutes continuously. That's the thing.
He might not.
Yeah,
I get the feeling like he's
yeah.
going to tear something every time he goes for a run. Like I just look at him like he's you can't just keep reaching into the cupboard and expecting the same kind of energy to be there, and I don't really see it. So yeah, I'm with Jamie. I think it's.
But then City could go and buy in January and shut us all up. Do you know what I mean? They could easily just do that and blow us all out of the water again. So that can definitely happen.
Yeah, concerning that, I think what Lewis said, I think that De Bruyne, when he came on, even you spoke about the subs that came on for Brighton, I wouldn't necessarily say that they were better, but they had a bigger impact in terms of when they came, you could see a systemic change. And for us, when the subs came on, it was like, even Bernardo, he slowed down the game. KDB was trying, he was forcing a lot of passes into the final third, but they weren't working as they usually do. And obviously the change for Haaland making his runs in behind, they were as well knowledgeable. But then again, I think it comes down to KDB having his second game off the bench after an injury. He's 33, turning 34, has suffered a lot of, let's say, major injuries. And he is that guy, can still impact the game. But then again, he doesn't really have the legs. So there has to be a balance. I do think long-term seen, Foden has to step into that role of KDB, and he's shown it last season, but then again, he hasn't shown it this season.
Is okay. Here is the thing before G comes in and Martin and Winter Sefer. Phil Foden is never gonna be KDB. He isn't creative. He is a direct player.
Yeah,
he is never gonna be able to replace Kevin De Bruyne in terms of the assist output, the way you lead the game. And he's not good in terms of like the 1-2s, the passes, create something out of nothing to other people. He might be the guy. He's like similar to Jamal Musiala, for example. Jamal Musiala is more of a very direct player. You give Jamal Musiala the ball, the first thing he's looking at is the goal. He's not looking at his teammates. Kevin De Bruyne is the guy that looks at the teammates, who's making the run, who's wide open. Phil Foden isn't. So Phil Foden is never going to be the Kevin De Bruyne replacement. Never.
Yeah, they need to buy one. They need to buy a Kevin De Bruyne.
But then again, Mo, I think Kevin De Bruyne is exactly, that's what I was going to say. Kevin De Bruyne is a once in a career player. He's up there with the Messi's, Ronaldo's, Salah's, Hazard's, like the actual greatest players ability-wise. And you can see how Thierry Henry speaks about him, how Pep speaks about him. So there was never going to be a successor of Kevin De Bruyne, but I think just the position and the role to try and lead the team and contribute in the way Foden did last season, he has to do that this season. And then we should be not necessarily fine without Kevin De Bruyne, but then we'll just have to adapt. And then the team will have to try and find a new way of playing their play style in the final third, not only relying on these killer balls by Kevin De Bruyne. And that should be possible if Phil Foden performs up to the standard he has been last season. And that's just the way I see it.
Do you think go ahead, Jay, if you wanna?
No, I was just gonna say, like, I agree what everyone's kind of saying, but for me, the underlying problem I feel like with City, it isn't the fact that you're missing players. It's that the players that you are missing, he doesn't seem to, as Mo said, to have found a way to play with these players who are available. I feel like that's bigger than you actually missing the players in the first place. And then on top of that, Gundogan, he's not been that good this season. Phil Foden, as you mentioned, NJ, like he's not really been, that good, this season. Kovacic, he's been okay. Ruben Diaz, again, okay. Too many of your players just haven't really performed up to that level. But I'll be honest. I know everyone says, look, it's different this time. But we said that last year. We said that the year before. We said that the year before. Every single year, we always seem to say, I'm not saying it's going to be the same, but what I am saying is that for how poor City look, they're only 5 points off Liverpool, who look miles better. So if they're only 5 points, that's probably scarier to know that they're so close to the top and they're not even playing remotely that, well. I mean, 4 games on the bounce that you've lost. And this is a team who are still 5 points behind a team who've only lost 1 game in the Premier League. So it's like when you look at it like that, once they get it right, I'll be honest, I just see nothing past. Again, they might not get it right, of course, but on the other side, if they get it right, there is no one else winning this league. I don't. Liverpool can continue being consistent. It just won't happen because at some point you will drop off. And Man City,
point of
from strength to strength. It's just.
You're absolutely right, G. You're right. People are asking us to believe something that we haven't seen before for the past 4 years.
Exactly.
Until it happens, I'm in the camp of I can't say it's going to happen because I'm not seeing it I've seen this story, like Mo said. We've seen this story for the past 4 years, 4 years in a row. Do you know what I mean? They can't, even when they're playing back, like last year when they lost a few games before they went to the Club World Cup, and everyone was going, "Oh, this is going to be Arsenal's year or Liverpool's year," and then they just matched Arsenal all the way nearly. You know what I mean? And just got ahead of them by 2 points. Listen. Does it look like it might happen? I don't know, but I can't give my seal of approval and go, "Yeah, it's definitely going to happen," because the last 4 years have proved everyone wrong. Do you know what I mean? Every year we're told they get worse. Every last 2 years they've got worse, but they somehow still pull the title out of the bag. So,
there's music in the background from somebody. I don't know from who, but
not me.
I got a leaf blower. It's not exactly music, but
a leaf blower. Oh, okay. Oh,
is that what you hear?
Yes, I think so. I don't know what a leaf blower is, but fine. You're talking about the leaf blower that the gardeners use.
Guy with a backpack and a generator and a two-stroke motor.
Right. Guys, smash the likes, people. Listen, for Manchester City, I said, like, the thing about Man City is that they can buy themselves out of this. They can go in January and buy somebody and they can fix the problem, right?
Yeah.
And they'll fix the problem. They can buy a DM and fix the problem. They don't need a striker. My problem with Man City, if Kevin De Bruyne is not providing for Haaland, who is? The wingers don't do anything. Their wingers don't do anything. Do everybody think that they got the wingers wrong? They got the Dokus, the Savinhos wrong. These signings are not the right signings for City.
I'd like to intervene.
I don't think they got.
Go ahead.
Maybe they didn't get them wrong. Maybe they didn't get it wrong. I think they should never have sold Mares to begin with. That's what they did. They should have kept Mares on. They should have, because they only sold him for a paltry 25 million. Do you know what I mean? This guy. They're not. That's the. I don't know what. Listen, Savinho looked good opening day of the season, a couple of games in, but he hasn't. He's not scored, right? I don't think he scored, or he scored assisted. Doku. I mean, he's just another version of Mudryk to me at the moment. Doku, do you know what I mean? He just dribbles with the ball and then there's nothing. Do you know what I mean? So it's like that. What's gonna, like Mo said, when you haven't got De Bruyne, you need someone. When they didn't have De Bruyne before, they had a Sterling, they had a Mares, they had a Sane, they had something else there someone else there that would score or would assist or would help. There's nothing. Or David Silva in his pomp. Do you know what I mean? Or Yaya Toure or something. They just didn't. This squad doesn't. I mean, it looks like the worst squad Pep's had in his entire career. What it looks like, because people are getting older, people are getting more injured, and the replacements that are brought in haven't hit the ground running. Yeah. Oh, he asked to leave. Sorry, man.
I think Andrew said it really good. I just think that we have to look at it from another perspective, because if we look at our goal scorers, Haaland is the top goal scorer and has like 12 goal involvements, 14 goal involvements, and after that is Gvardiol. So I think that is a major issue. Not only we can praise Gvardiol for him performing, but we have to criticize the Fodens, the Bernardos, the Savinhos, and the Dokus, because even Savio, who has been looking good, by the way, he's had multiple assists. The assist against Arsenal, against Chelsea, he has been looking good. But his output in terms of finishing, scoring goals is very concerning. If you look at the Brighton game, he had a clear-cut chance, 1v1 situation. If he scores that, we're up 2-0. The game goes completely different. And that's not only been that game, even against Sporting, the first 15 minutes, I think even the Sporting game we started off well, we had most of the possession, not dominated necessarily, but we played well. And even there, we had chances after Foden's goal to extend the lead, but we missed out the chances. And that is where our problems come into play. So it's only Haaland that's scoring. In terms of creating, we are fine, because if we look at De Bruyne's numbers, I saw a stat that came out. De Bruyne created the most chances out of the Brunos, the Odegaards, everyone, and he hasn't started a game since September. Those were like 25 chances. So if he comes back, we have him. But then again, if he's out, we need the other players to use their chances. And even Foden, he has been creating. He just hasn't been scoring. And then Haaland, obviously, he had that, let's say, post-Arsenal game, he hasn't been finishing his chances. He's been missing loads of big chances. So I think it's not an excuse, but we're not that far off from getting things right. That's how I see it.
No, you're not. You're not. I think City's main problem is midfield.
Yeah.
Because if you, like, Kovacic is 30, Gundogan is 30, Gundogan's 34, Bernardo Silva's 30, Kevin De Bruyne is 33. You know, they're going to be your main midfielders. Mateus Nunes is playing out in the wide areas at the moment because the wingers are not good enough. Rodri's injured. And then you've got, obviously, young Rico Lewis is really a right back playing in midfield.
Yeah. I think Martin's previous message, actually, he did say it right when he said that they sold first team players, but they didn't replace them. They just replaced them with squad players. Do you know what I mean? They didn't replace them with. They didn't get them in.
I just don't think that those Man City first team player level players exist. In the market. You can get to a dangerous position with a squad where you fill replacements, but they're not of the level. So all of a sudden, when Pep's like, okay, we're going to turn it on now for 18 games in a row, it's like the car won't start. Like the people aren't there to really like to personnel, I think. And I've seen that problem in a few other clubs too, where you just you sell a Harry Kane and you buy like 5 players and they're all just kind of like they're not really starters. They're not really like
but that's Spurs. But I think it's what what it shows is that no one's squad is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
No one's got like a great squad at the moment in the Premier League.
But no one has Pep Guardiola. That is the question. That is the thing. No one has Pep Guardiola, and that is the thing.
He's the difference maker in this league, ain't he?
He is the difference maker. That is, it is the main thing, to be honest with you. That Pep Guardiola. Listen, we know City are gonna be. He might not this season. Liverpool might pull apart or something like that. He might not get it. He might not get it right. He might not sign the right guy in January. Remember, when these people signed Gundogan, they thought this is it. And we all thought Gundogan is coming back as the same Gundogan, apart from Martin, who didn't think that. But everyone thought that Gundogan is going to come back as the same guy, but he didn't. We thought that Savinho would come in and do what he did with Girona. He didn't. We thought that Doku would improve this season. He improved slightly and then, boom, got injured.
Yeah.
And Kyle Walker, we thought that Rico Lewis, people thought that Rico Lewis is going to be the next guy. A lot of people saying Rico Lewis is not even good enough to play at the back line. That is what happened, by the way. And people don't realize that they have multiple problems. It is not only about Rodri.
Yeah.
It's about the wingers not scoring. It's about the back line being wide open. And you all, that's fine. It's about the back line being wide open as well. So that is a big deal.
I also think the most dangerous thing for City is that it seems like teams have figured out how to rattle them at some point in the game through like lots of pressing or a certain type of play. And it's not, I mean, maybe Ake and Akanji, I think they were on the bench in the last game. If they come back...
they're injured. They were only on the bench because our squad's just not big enough. They just
He's just selecting injured players on the bench. Well, like if they come back, I can see a lot less issues because you kind of just like, you can have a bit more of a solid wall at the back there. But they've been I think it's been like 15 games or something. You guys haven't had a clean sheet.
Yeah,
something like that, right?
We concede a lot, and we concede.
No, they had a clean sheet against Southampton when they won 1-0.
Right.
Yeah, that's a lot.
1-0
that was
at
also
home.
close. That was also very close.
Do you know what
in
it
my
is?
opinion.
I don't think teams are sitting back against City anymore. They're actually giving it a go.
Yeah,
and I think the reason they're giving it a go is because if you can work out a game plan to keep Haaland quiet, it's weird he's not that big of a threat with the rest of his gameplay. And their wingers, they're good footballers, but they're not going to go and get that goal on the break with their wingers at the moment. So
Yeah.
I think teams feel like they can now take a risk
I
and
think
work
it's
their
even-
way
I
to the
think-
game and go.
I think it's even simpler. I think Rodri's out. Rodri's
Yeah.
Rodri's
showed
That's
out.
like the
Rodri's a
main-
band-aid. He's not
Andrew,
a
that's
system.
like the
He's
main
a-
problem.
That
That's
was
the,
it. We saw it even at the bit of the start season. It was like
Do we think that Pep is leaving though because of this?
yeah. He's not leaving because of this. I think the word is
No. Do we think because he's leaving, this is happening? Does anybody think that is the case?
I think so.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Because I had someone,
But this is why I
had-
don't think they will sign players. Like Martin said it there about like trying to sign players. I don't actually see City buying anybody in January. I know everyone thinks that City just need to go, and I don't. I actually see a world where City don't sign anybody in Jan.
Yeah,
And I don't
yeah.
actually think they need to sign any. I don't think you can't improve. Like when everyone's fit, you're not signing anyone. Like you're talking about like top players in the world to be able to replace these guys. You can't just go out and sign, as we've seen, a Doku, Mateus, Nunes, because clearly these guys are not good enough. So with City, like I said, I don't think it's so much about they're missing this guy and that guy. I just think that he just needs to sort out the way that the team play at the moment. Once he sorts that out, I think they'll be fine. Like, I don't really see
Do
too
you
many
think-
issues. Obviously, if it continues, that's a problem, of course.
Do we think that
Yeah.
City give Arsenal hope by not being as good?
Yeah, I think
Arsenal,
even-
yeah, of course. Yeah.
even last season they did, and even now when I'm
No,
speaking with a
Liverpool
couple
don't need.
of-
Liverpool have lost one game and drew one game. Liverpool, it doesn't matter if City are good or not. Liverpool would be in this place no matter what.
Yeah, but 5
Yes,
points
yes,
ahead of
yes,
City.
yes.
Obviously, that's giving them hope. Like that's win beneath your
Yeah,
wings.
I
They
think
don't have any hope.
exactly.
They have no chest. It's
Um,
called chicken pool at the current moment. It's chicken pool at the current moment.
I think
It's-
when I'm speaking with a couple of Arsenal fans, they rather look at us than Liverpool because they're so confident that Liverpool eventually will drop points, and they know we have come back from losing positions to still end up and clinch the title. What I wanted to address before that, I think Genie said something really good, that once our squad is fully fit, I don't think there are loads of positions where we can get any improvement or a better player who's willing to be sidelined for some games and then start some games. So I think not only the right back position where we have a major issue as well, is Rico Lewis is very good going forward and he's very intelligent. That's why he plays in midfield in a Pep system or a Pep team. But he still has the disadvantage in physicality and speed because he's still very young. You can see he had the issues with Traore, or I think Pep not playing him against Bournemouth was because he knew the fast players, the strong strikers, Evan Nilsson and Semenyo would give him a hard game. But then again, even Walker, who's on a
And then
decline
Kyle
now,
Walker got cooked.
yeah, but I think it would have been both of them. We just have a defensive
fantastic
liability, and I
watch.
think that just shows Pep is a great manager. For me, he's the best, but then again, he's stubborn at times. Like Cancelo, we could have kept him, he let him go. And then even like earlier, Andrew said, I think Mares, Alvarez, all these people going and not getting proper replacements in is just stubborn, thinking that you can manage with the squad that we already have, and we're seeing us suffering on it now. So yeah,
Leaving that to go to Liverpool and the people. I wanted to speak about Liverpool and how Arne Slot has actually changed the way the team plays football, and how with this we're not favorites thing is going on. I don't mind it. You're not favorites. I just don't like. That's my personal opinion. I don't like the fact that Liverpool fans are downplaying their chances of winning the league. Like, we're gonna challenge and everything, but we are not favorites. We're not equal to City. City are gonna catch us. All this stuff. But if you watch what people are saying, and if you watch your players play, you think that this team has enough at their. I think you have enough to win the Premier League. If someone gets injured, that's fine. We're gonna cross that bridge when it happens. But if City as well, we watch City with injuries now. Rodri's already injured. I don't know what you guys like think about that as well. I know you do a lot of shows with HUSAM and stuff.
the problem you've got right now is we're 11 games in, so it's trying to find a balance between going too far with your, I guess, expectations or whatever. I agree with you. Liverpool right now, if you ask me today, they're the favourites to win the Premier League. Of course they are. They're 5 points clear, in my opinion. They're 5 points clear, and they're the most consistent team in the Premier League at the moment. Nobody else is as consistent at this current moment in time. So that's 11 games, though. I don't know what that looks like after 19, 20, 25, whatever, but we'll get there when we get there. So as of today's date, Liverpool are obviously, in my opinion, would be the favourites just because of that. But again, it's such a long season. We're not in a position where we've won like 3 out of the last 5, or we've it's not really that kind of situation, or like a Arsenal, Manchester United of old school, where it was like they win it maybe 1 year, then they win it, then it's going back and forth, or United win it for 2 years in a row, then Arsenal win it. It's not we've not done that. We've only won it once, so we don't have any real previous experience to go and say, oh, you know what, when we're in this position, we know what it's like after this amount of games, the way that we're playing, we've got a new manager, we haven't experienced any of this, so we can only really draw on what Winter Surfer said, which is the experience tells you that the reality is this team's probably going to come back and our team is going to potentially fall off. But at this moment in time, it doesn't look like that. Liverpool are the most consistent team, I think, potentially in Europe, outside of your Napolis, maybe your Barca, like those kind of teams, maybe. But I look at Liverpool and think you've had 1 defeat in the entire season. You've only dropped another game against Arsenal. So the reality is we look good now. So let's just keep it going. I think once it gets to 19 games, if we are still this 5 points ahead, you'll start to see people with a bit more chest. I think people will then start to come out a bit more, and then you'll see what happens there.
The thing about, I'm going to get Jamie's take. The thing about Liverpool, just the last thing, the one thing I want to say is that the way you play football, it looks like it's very sustainable.
Yeah. Compared to
last season. Mo keeps scoring.
I'm going Mo scores and everything, but the other
it's inevitable. It's inevitable.
But he also creates. Like without Mo, I think that they would be in a different situation right now.
I agree.
I'm going to quote Liverpool's greatest ever Premier League player, Mo Salah, today, saying that Liverpool are not underdogs, and he hates that term, and rightly so. And he's telling the team to step up. He's telling the team to step up. He's looking at our squad going, look, I'm world class. Virgil van Dijk and Konate are arguably the best centre-back partnership maybe in Europe right now. You got Trent still there. You got Gravenberch doing his thing right now. You got McAllister there. You got Diaz who can pitch in with goals. Gakpo pitches in with goals. Darwin, when it's harder, he pitches in with goals. You got people there. Jota, when he comes back from injury, will pick up and score goals. Curtis Jones is doing very well at this moment in time. We got players in his team, and Mo Salah's got a point. We can't be sitting here constantly. And that weren't, by the way, it weren't Liverpool fans who said underdogs all the time. It was our former manager.
Yep.
Our former manager liked us being underdogs because he liked us going under the radar, right? I never liked it. Arne Slot himself has said in press conferences where I'm here to win everything. That's what he said. I'm here to win everything. Tactically, look, there's not a lot of differences at this moment in time because we still do score a lot of our goals in transition because of the players we got. And I don't think that's the way Slot generally wants to play, but his way of play will develop as the season goes on into a different style. I also see with the way we play, we now hold on to the ball and slow everything down and rest on the ball more. Against Villa, I think Villa played well, but I also had the sense that I think we could have scored any time we wanted. It's like Villa are having a go. They were coming on to us after their substitution. It was just like, all right, we've had enough now, and we'll just go. We'll go down the other end and score and just finish this game. And we controlled the game because, like Virgil and Konate, they could just pass the ball, move the ball. Gravenberch can move the ball, and they can slow it down. And hopefully, I'm hoping it keeps players more fit because of that style of football. And we're not shattered by the end of the season. Like me and G have seen it ourselves. We have great starts. We go to February and January, and you can see half the squad's dead on their legs already around that time. And injuries start to pick up. So I'm hoping with
I
our
agree.
new style and the way we play, we'll be fitter as we go on. But we've got quality players. We have got quality players. And
Can I want to interject, and after you're done with here, and say
go
one
go
thing.
for it. Go for it.
I literally looking at both squads at the current moment, guys. I'm literally looking at both, and I want people to actually hear what I'm about to say, right? I'm gonna look at the squads, and we can see, go compare Man City squads, because Liverpool's argument is the squad, right? And the lack of DM. I'm gonna give you the squads of both teams. I literally went and looked at them. In goalkeeper, Man City has Ederson, Ortega, and Carson. Liverpool
Let's
have
not
Alisson.
count Carson.
Okay, Liverpool have Alisson, Callahan, and Jaros. Liverpool have better depth. Am I wrong?
No.
That's the best three goalkeepers.
All right.
Wait, no.
In
I think that there's a point there about slots changed the perception of Klopp's later signings. Like the ones which he brought in, which everyone said were not of the level, and we needed Michael Edwards. I think
In terms, yeah, go ahead.
He's proved that they're actually quite good players. Just depends on their positioning and
Exactly,
how you
change the
Yeah.
position. Like, look at the defense. People say if Van Dijk and Konate are injured, you have Gomez and Kwanzaa. Man City have 4 center backs, guys. Ruben Diaz, Manuel Akanji, Nathan Ake, and John Stones. 2 of them are injury prone already.
Yeah.
John Stones and Nathan Ake already, right? Already injury prone, basically, right? And also John Stones, this season, every time he played, they were wide open. He's not a good defender as a center back.
Yeah,
He's not great.
rather ball playing. Yeah.
He's not. He's a ball-playing center back, but in terms
Yeah.
of defense, he's not great. Right backs, no comparison. Connor Bradley and Trent would start for City over Kyle Walker and Rico Lewis.
Yeah.
Both. Left back, it's Gavardio and Nathan Ake. He switches Nathan Ake and Gavardio. I would give them Gavardio. However,
Yeah.
They're not left back.
Liverpool have depth. The difference
Yeah.
is Tsimikas is not injury prone. Robertson is not injury prone. Nathan Ake keeps getting injured every season. So basically, if Gavardio is injured, they're naked in that side. Nobody has, they never left back. In terms of DMs, guys, Man City have 1 DM, Rodri. He's out with an ACL. Everyone else is a central midfielder.
Yeah.
Nunes, Kovacic, Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan. None of them is a DM. Liverpool have Endo. He's not good. But if Endo was at Man City today, it would have been the destroyer for them. I'm just looking at the teams. By the way, Liverpool fans, both G and Jamie, stop me if I'm wrong. Right?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Someone said,
Gravenberch
don't
is
forget
playing
Joe
out of
Gomez. Don't forget Joe Gomez for Liverpool as like extra positional backup.
exactly for all the back line. In the midfield, they have no Rodri, and they basically have no DM. Liverpool have a DM, an actual DM. He's not great, but he can do a job in Wataru Endo against smaller teams. And they have Gravenberch, who's arguably now with Caicedo playing at the highest level of a midfield at this season.
Yeah.
Right? Curtis Jones is stepping up, getting the England national team call up. Right? Is playing out of the playing very, very well. He's playing better than Declan Rice as a CM. You have you have
No. I'm not disagreeing. I can't believe
you have McAllister. Harvey Elliott is injured. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. So they have Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, who has been crap this season in the midfield. Right?
Yeah.
And on the wingers, though, don't get me started on the front line, though.
Yeah, the front line is already outside of striker is done.
Like
For them, Gakpo would start on one of the wingers for them.
Luis Diaz easily.
Luis
Salah's
Diaz,
not even a debate.
Mohamed Salah.
Yeah.
All their wingers would start.
Actually, all of them overweigh Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
The only thing that Liverpool fans have, the argument, is Kevin De Bruyne's back.
Yeah.
And even Man City fans don't think that Kevin De Bruyne can complete a 90 minutes. So this notion, and I'm going to say it's a notion that Liverpool don't have depth as Man City, it's rubbish. Do you know Man City rely? Do you know when I speak to Man City fans, the likes of Martin, the likes of Tony, do you know what they rely on? James McAtee and Oscar Baba are going to be back. Who are these people? Who are these people?
No, Oscar Bob's good.
See,
I like Oscar Bob.
Who are these people? James you're gonna win the league with James McAtee and Oscar Bob. They're bowlers. They are all right.
That's what I said in the transfer window. I couldn't believe that City were not out
No,
there
but,
buying players.
Martin, they thought Savinho and Doku will come good this season. That's what they thought.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but still,
second
on top
season,
of that,
second
you need,
season,
Yeah,
second season.
they thought. Martin, did you watch Hamza when he said that Savinho is going to tear it apart in the Premier League? He
Yes.
never saw that this is that the guy has 0 goals. So
Yeah.
But they
this
need
is what I want
defenders
to
anyway,
say.
like the
that
actual
this
defenders.
thing about depth, unless you think that Liverpool are scrubs and they're going to fall apart and Arne Slot is a fraud. If you tell me that, you have an argument. You tell me depth, you don't have an argument. Especially with Rodri's injury. You have no argument. It's not about depth.
They are.
So I'm not buying this shit. I'm not
No, I
buying
agree.
this.
I agree. They haven't, and
I know Liverpool fans
it's
don't
not-
like
not
this.
saying it
I know
will,
that
not
they
saying
No,
it
don't.
will.
I agree. I
Because of
agree with
this-
you, Mark. I agree.
You know
with
what the problem is?
I agree.
I'm not saying you're favorites because at the end, I've seen Pep Guardiola, as G said, I've seen Pep Guardiola do it 6 times and I haven't
Yes,
seen Arne Slot do it. Yes. So
The
that is
two
an
diff-
argument. Yes.
Mo, the two different makers in the Premier League are Pep Guardiola and Mo Salah.
That's it. One here, one there. No, and Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah,
Kevin
exactly. I
De
was
Bruyne,
going to
yeah.
say, and
Kevin-
Kevin De Bruyne.
and
we can stay
Kevin De
100%
Bruyne.
fit. Yeah, we can stay 100%.
Yeah.
Kevin De Bruyne is a difference maker. He's
Yeah.
definitely. However,
Correct.
over seasons, Kevin De Bruyne has missed half a season last season. He already
Yeah.
missed 10 games already this season already. Was saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim and he missed 10 games. It was just saying was starting, missed 10 games.
Mm.
And that is the thing. They bought wrong. And so Liverpool, and also Liverpool are playing way better football than everybody agree here. Way better football than Man City. Like
yeah.
it's not even
definitely better.
comparable, by the way. It's not.
No,
And
And
that's why I
also-
know I said like that's what I'm saying. Like Man City, I just feel like with how poor I think they have been, Liverpool, as I said, they've been the best team, most consistent team, performing better. I just think that if you're only 5 points off, and you kind of said it there, if you're only 5 points off at this stage, and you know that all it really takes is for us to just play a little bit better, and we can just keep, we can keep that gap a bit smaller until these players come back. That's where you look at it. But as you said, the difference maker are the 3 players: KDB, Pep Guardiola, Mo
No,
Salah.
there is another
Those
difference
3.
maker in the league. I forgot, G. There is a difference maker that every
Virgil van
team
Dijk.
in the thank you so much. Any team in the world, if they have a Virgil
is it?
van Dijk,
Sorry,
completely
yeah.
I thought you were
Guys,
going to
have you
say
know-
well.
Have you
he
noticed-
really. By the way, he changes the way teams play.
He's a playmaker
Yeah.
at centre back. He's a playmaker at centre back as well. His passing ability at
He's-
centre back. Like teams are going to have to cotton on to the fact that you can't let Virgil have time on the ball to dictate the play. So if they start to press on Virgil and stop him dictating the play, but he still gets the ball out, then that's going to leave the opposition even more defensively unsure because Liverpool can get in even better. Virgil, do you know what it is? He's normalised it so much now, no one talks about it. This is the problem. He's just normalised it. And at this moment in time, if you somehow get past Virgil, you got to get past Konate.
Yeah.
Well, that would
Which
be
is-
the only thing you really got worried, Jamie and G, is just injuries.
Keep them
right?
fit.
That's-
Keep them
that's the
fit.
only
Yeah,
thing,
keep them fit.
Injuries.
Yeah.
But even the injuries, I'll be honest. Like, yes,
I mean,
listen,
let's
don't want Van
let
Dijk
me
to get injured.
define it. Injuries to Van Dijk and Salah. I'm talking that time.
Okay, yeah, Salah,
Yeah,
would, Salah,
yeah.
Salah would hurt me a bit more though, because I do
Okay.
think that with Liverpool, as Martin said earlier on, Salah's so pivotal to, like, yes, we've got other players, Diaz, these guys, they can all score, but none of them are consistent. And I just
Yeah.
think that depending on how long a Mo would be injured for example, I don't
Yeah.
feel like I'd be comfortable with those 3. At least at the back, I'm a bit more comfortable knowing that I don't mind Joe Gomez being there. Again, I don't want Van Dijk to be injured for like a long
Yeah.
period of time.
Yeah.
Of course not, none of them. But I would be okay if you told me, yeah, it's only going to be like 3 games for like Mo or 3 games for Van Dijk. If you told me for a long period of time, of course, listen, Liverpool will. We've seen it before when Van Dijk isn't there. Liverpool, crumble without
Yeah.
Van Dijk. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just one of those kind of things. But
There's one
yeah.
major thing also going in Liverpool's favour that'll help Slot in that what do you guys have? 5 starters that won the league already? Like maybe 6.
Yeah, I think so.
You've got that muscle memory in those players that even if Slot just sat there and did nothing, those guys would probably look at each other and just sort of silently nod and say, "We can win whatever game it is."
Yeah, Salah, Alisson, Virgil,
we
Gomez,
we can say
Robbo,
the same
Trent.
though. We can say the same thing for Man City though, right? Look how many started.
Yeah.
4 in a
True.
row.
Yeah,
Do you know what
but
I
that's
mean?
the only
Like,
two teams that
exactly.
can
That's
say that
like-
with any players, right?
I
nah,
think
but
just-
Like
it's
Man
one of
City
those,
don't
isn't
even
it?
have that many players that want like.
Do you
I don't know,
guys?
it feels
I'm
like those
gonna.
players falling off. They're not there anymore.
Martin, I'm gonna ask you something. And guys, I'm just a shameless plug. I'm actually 11 subscribers away from 27,100. So please, guys, if you're new, hit that like button, guys. And we can't have 700 people here, and we are not even on 200 likes. Hit that like button. I don't need to make a poll. I'll make one. Like the video, people. The target of this stream is 300 likes live. Come on, hit that like button, people, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Martin, I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you think if Liverpool gives Salah a new contract and Pep Guardiola doesn't renew, that plays in Liverpool's favor?
I was thinking about this the other day, and I don't actually believe they should give him a new contract. Unfortunately, he's 33 in February, I think. And I've seen this not necessarily play out in the best kind of way. Like, I know he's too good. He's too good of a player to let go. So it's impossible to not re-sign him. But to build the team around him that Slot wants, when he's probably got like a year or two before we start seeing maybe the KDB style issues, I don't know whether you can really do that for like. I think you've got to accept that Liverpool has this core of a squad that are coming to the end of their time. Not now, maybe not next season, maybe it's the season after. And you've got to have really honest and harsh discussions about it, because Wenger used to do this thing where if a player got over the age of 30, he wouldn't even give them a new contract. And we lost players like Vieira and all that kind of stuff, and everyone's still crying about it to this day. But I don't think you can build teams around the 32s, the 33s, the 34s. I think Van Dijk's 34 now, isn't he? He's already.
But the problem with that, I understand what you're saying, but the only right winger in world football is probably better than Mo Salah, is the young kid at Barcelona. And there's no one, and there's no one else. There's no one else. So,
but isn't that a sign?
And Mo just got to 20 GA, 10 goals and 10 assists this season. No one's done it quicker in one season. That's including Lionel Messi, and he's 32.
Yeah,
he's got 6. I think G just saw it on Twitter as well about his goal contributions this season. Is it a goal every 64 minutes or something like that, isn't it?
67. Mo does what Mo does, you know.
But isn't that a sign that you should sell him when he's still got value? Because otherwise
he retires at Liverpool. I think
what Martin's saying. Yeah, like what Martin's saying. I don't even disagree. Like everyone knows, Salah's my favorite player. I wouldn't mind if he stayed. Like if he went, that's not going to be a big bother to me. What's a bigger bother is I don't trust Liverpool to be able to replace that kind of player in any other walk of life. You're right. If he goes, he goes. Like it is what it is. Like you know, you can continue on, but I don't trust that Liverpool will go out and sign, you know, a Harry Kane equivalent type of player, because that's what you're going to kind of need. If we did do that, I'm good with any of them leaving. It's not. I don't really have too much issue with players leaving, if I'm being totally honest with you. It's just if you trust the club that they'll replace, then no problem. But we know what this club is about. We know how we do business.
But that's not a Liverpool
played,
issue.
he'll come in.
The issue is that there's no other Salah out there on the market that there's
but you don't. But the thing, I don't think you need this. I feel like everyone thinks you need a Salah player. I don't think you need a Salah level.
Gravenberch, Salah was not that Salah when he joined Liverpool. Gravenberch, the way Arne Slot developed him. Do we trust Arne Slot to get a winger and develop him to make him something special?
I also actually do trust the club to do the right thing as well, because I know what G's saying, but with the new people, look, the club look like they got the new manager appointment right after Jurgen Klopp at this moment in time in Arne Slot. So, and it's a new regime now, ain't it? It's a fresh new regime. So I do, if they had to get the right players in, I do trust the process, I've got to admit, because replacing Jurgen Klopp, everyone thought it was going to be impossible. And like they saw this guy on a slot and thought, you know what, he's a great coach. I think everyone forgets how much of a good coach he was in the Netherlands, you know, when you see his actual record there. And they look like they got the right man in. But with Salah, my whole thing is, this is what I would do. if I'm the football club, if I had the power, I'd give Mo Salah a 3-year deal. And while he's here for that next 3 years, I'll go and find the next player that's going to eventually take over Mo Salah while he's still at the football club. And then you've got a nice transition when Mo leaves. That player's already at your football club, can come in and do his thing. Because can you imagine being that player that has to come in and replace Mo Salah? That's a lot of pressure straight away. So if you get him in the club while he's still here, he's learning off Mo Salah. And then
if you mean, I agree with you. If you mean like, okay, I liken it to like Ronaldo at Real Madrid. And I'm not saying Mo Salah is of that level, by the way. I'm saying in terms of what they mean to that club and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Like that person is so pivotal. When Ronaldo left, because Benzema, as you say, you're having that player there. Benzema had been there for so long. He then becomes the main man. But he'd been there alongside Ronaldo anyway. So it's almost equivalent to what would have to be like Diaz, for example, just becoming this guy next seat. Like if Salah was to leave, he'd just have to become, you know, this main man. Where I don't feel like it's going to happen is that Ronaldo leaves. If Benzema is the main guy, that's fine. But then they're able to still get in a Vinicius Jr. who can still play there. They've got in a Rodrigo. I don't feel like we've got, and obviously Benzema being Benzema, we don't have that person, one who's already here, who's even of that level of like a Benzema to Ronaldo equivalent in our team, where it's like, yeah, this guy's still cold with or without Salah. Like with or without Ronaldo, Benzema was still a cold, you know, world-class player. You didn't, you know, Ronaldo being there just accentuated that fact. We don't have that player. Yes, the Diaz, the Gappos, they're good players. They're okay, but you can probably find, they're like a dime a dozen. I reckon you could find quite a few of those kind of players out there. So we don't have that guy where I'm like, I don't mind if Salah was to go. And then unless you can sign someone, unless you can.
I'd like to say something.
But I agree with you.
Exactly. And I think besides that as well, if you're looking at Luis Diaz, who also isn't the youngest anymore, and taking into consideration he had that serious knee injury the season before last, how long will he still be able to perform at the highest level? I think
he's only 27. He's only 27.
Yeah, but then again, with a player of his explosiveness, and it's like, I don't.
To be fair, we are rotating him and Gakpo quite a lot this season, so might rest him.
So there's a chance that might go, right? So then there's Van Dijk is 34, and maybe you'll get 2 more years out of him.
Yeah,
Alisson probably will hang around for 2 more years. I don't know, maybe. I'm not quite sure, but I feel like he wants to stay there forever. But
he's got 3 years left, but he's still young.
Yeah.
And what's with Trent not extending his contract yet? Isn't that another concern?
Look, if I'm gonna get killed here and clipped up, but I'm gonna say it. If Trent wants to leave, let him go. I'm not bothered. I'm more bothered if Salah and Virgil leave, because I think they're harder to replace.
But you can't let any of these guys go on a free. I think that's the issue. Like if I give you the choice of keeping Mo Salah and increasing his wages or whatever to like 400,000 a week or whatever he wants for 2 years, or you sell him for 200 million and buy Gyökeres and Rafael Leao, and you completely change, I don't know, your future for your team and how you're going to attack and all that kind of things. Because right now you guys are very right-sided, focused on your attack, like we are at Arsenal with Saka. But maybe you have to you've got so many places in that team that potentially need replacement. You might need to.
Salah is not going to be sold for that much money, Martin. Let's just establish that. Salah is not going to be sold for the 100 millions. He's 33 years old. No one is paying. He's going to be 33 in June. He's born in 92. So 2024, 2025 is going to be 33 at the end of the season. He's definitely not going to be sold for 100. No one is paying 100 million for 30 million.
They offer him
I think crazy. The Saudis are not idiots. If Mohamed Salah renews the contract, the Saudis are not paying the money. Now, I think that was last season. The problem, I actually think that Mohamed Salah, with the way he keeps himself fit, Mohamed Salah can play until like 35, 36.
Exactly.
He's ridiculously fit. He takes care of himself. And I don't know why are we assuming he's going to slow down. When he slows down, he slows down. I think he deserves the money. He's the best player in the world at the current moment. Nobody's better than him. He's delivering now at the age of 32, almost at 33. And if he delivers this season a league or a Champions League for Liverpool, he literally needs to be rewarded with a contract. He is that guy. Maybe even if he doesn't start every single game. Because Mohamed Salah at the current moment for Liverpool starts cup games, Champions League games, league games, and he plays 90 minutes. He doesn't need that. You know what I mean? He doesn't need to do that every time. And that is the Liverpool's recruitment, which is the atrocious signing of Chiesa. Could have been better. It could have been a player that could have filled in other games. And when Liverpool are leading 3-1 at Milan, maybe Liverpool could have taken Salah a little bit out earlier. When Liverpool are winning games 2-0, Salah goes out earlier. That which happens a lot. The problem is they have no right winger. If Salah goes out, there's no right wing. Basically, they have none.
No, we have no other right winger. I'll get that. But I will ask, though, did Messi and Ronaldo have backups? Or did they just play all the time?
Very true.
So I'm going to tell you the difference between Messi and Messi is the laziest player on earth that ever has been.
Or the cleverest. Or the cleverest.
No. It's made the difference between Messi and Salah is day and night, right? Lionel Messi, there are 10 players around him that work hard enough to compensate for his lack of work ethics off the ball when the opposition has the ball, right? He doesn't need to run that much. And he's that talented that you can just give him the ball and will make things happen. Mohamed Salah, still we see him on the pitch. He's trying to help Trent defensively. He tries to run. He goes here. He goes on. He does things off the ball. There's a difference between him. Messi didn't need to work that hard like Mohamed Salah needs to work. That's why he didn't need to have backup, in my opinion. Mohamed Salah needs backup.
Yeah. When I watch Mo finish a game at the end of 90 minutes, he looks like he's only just started the game. He looks fresh. He's not even breathing.
That's fair to him.
I think he's just an ultimate athlete, and he's just, and that's why I agree. He can keep going.
Let me do a couple of these super chats. Gregory here is saying Rodri is the root cause. All the rest are side effects. Do you agree with that, NJ?
Yeah, to some extent. I think Rodri is obviously the main issue, and all these other issues are just smaller issues which we had last season as well. If you're looking at the Haaland injury for 2 months, KDB injuries, even last season, Ake was in and out of the squad. We dealt with these minor injuries last season, but this season, besides that, we still have our only DM, the best DM in the world, the Ballon d'Or winner out, and we are yet to figure out a solution, which is why
Nilot Pal, big up Nilot Pal for the super chat. Thank you, Habibi, all the time supporting the channel. Momo, the thing is, before the season started, most of the fans had no expectations because of the new manager and transfer window. Hence, it's not easy suddenly to raise the expectations suddenly after 11 games, need more game weeks. I agree with this, Nilot Pal. However, new information means new opinion. I did not expect Arsenal to be that good. I did not expect Arsenal to be that crap. I did not expect Man City to be that bad as well. That is the reality.
Yeah.
You are crap. Your team is crap. It's simple.
So Inter. You guys are like fourth or whatever.
Mo just went like,
he's just going to get away with it pretty big. I'm just not going to let it happen.
Your team is playing like crap. We're going to talk about your team and how much your manager might get sacked.
Well, take your pick, man.
PGMOL. Are we going to talk? You see what happened? Let me do the next super chat. Because I'll tell you what happened. Salah missed about 14 games last season, as well as a bunch of other players. I think we had 2 losses in that period. The losses came when the experienced players came back from injury at the end. So Morton here is saying that he doesn't agree that the injuries will cause Liverpool like a decline.
Mo, it's because you said earlier, our squad. I think our squad is underrated. Yeah, I think our squad is heavily underrated. But every team's going to miss a Virgil or a Mo or a Rodri or a
Trent.
You know, these players are going to be missed. You know what? If Trent's out, I'm with G. I think if Trent's out,
I don't feel like
the way Slot plays now, I think Conor Bradley could fill in for 6 or 8 weeks. Yeah,
no, 100%. Yeah. Now we're talking about how crap Arsenal are and how better Chelsea are.
Oh, wait, didn't you say Chelsea was going to win?
Yes.
Yeah, you were wrong. Hold that.
Yes, and your manager lied when he said Odegaard might not start. Declan Rice is not fit because he has a broken toe, but everyone started. It's a fair result, and you were the better team.
What do you mean? You're
I was
saying
wrong in
because
my
you
prediction.
thought Odegaard wasn't playing.
Okay, I genuinely,
You'll make
I always make predictions based on the most important. Let me give you an example. If Liverpool tomorrow are playing Man City at Anfield in 3 weeks, right? They are playing Man City. If Salah is out, I'm gonna make a prediction. If Salah is fit and plays, I'm gonna make another prediction. That's only fair.
Yeah, but every time they say Salah
Odegaard
is out,
Odegaard is that
back.
important to you.
Yeah.
Odegaard is that important to you.
And you can see it
by
in
the way,
game.
that game is only a proof of what I'm saying.
What?
That if Saka's marked, Odegaard coming. Literally, the one who made the goal is Odegaard because Saka was being marked by Kukurea. That the plan was to stop him.
You're
The question is not
I'm
that.
the one that's
I
saying
actually-
Odegaard is important. Like I've been saying that he's our best player. I said he was our best player last season.
Saka still, for me, Saka is the best player for you.
I
Maybe
think
Odegaard is as important.
More of a
Can I-
team control
I want to take this into a different, because yesterday my Rivals Rumble stream went completely left and I couldn't ask the questions because of Winter Surfer.
I didn't
Basically,
even mean for that to happen. That wasn't even
Guys,
my...
let's get to 300 likes, guys. The like button is underneath the live chat. Why is Konate playing better than William Saliba this season? Why are Liverpool's defense look way more solid than Arsenal? Last season, people said, and can you let me finish the question? Can I put context into it?
Hurry up.
What's wrong with this show, bro?
Look, you're getting deep in an agenda. I don't want to let you get too comfortable.
It's not an agenda.
Yeah, no,
Why do you think it's an agenda?
because you got triggered when Inter played Arsenal, and then there was this whole thing about you guys parking the bus. And you didn't want to admit it, and now you're like you're just honest. You're honest like a hawk. You want to like carry narratives that are negative about Arsenal. I know you, Mo.
Absolutely not.
You're clickbait.
Okay, you know the fact that I've been called an Arsenal twerker in the same streams as an Arsenal glazer, it actually proves my point that I'm very fair.
No,
I
the
believe
people
I
that
am
say
very fair
Arsenal
and
twerker
truthful.
just hate Arsenal. They want you to say bad things about us all the time. But
I
No,
don't
but
want to say
maybe-
bad things about. I don't want to say bad. Hold on. I don't want to say bad things about you. Why? Why
no,
do you think
I'm
I want to
saying
say
the people
bad
in the
things about
chat-
you?
People in that chat want you to say bad things about us.
I don't want to say.
that's their bread and butter.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Is your defense playing well this season or even as good as last season? I'm talking about Saliba and Gabriel.
Gabriel hasn't been that bad. Saliba's had a few issues, but I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you about Konate. How did that not get called a penalty in the Aston Villa game against?
You can
Ollie
ask the
Watkins?
Liverpool guys. You can ask the Liverpool guys.
I was completely baffled by that.
because it weren't a penalty.
But he put his leg
come
across
on,
him.
I think-
And
Well, you mean
didn't get the
where his
ball.
shoulder barged him and the referee?
No, like his
Hey.
leg actually like tripped
Oh,
over
yeah.
Watkins.
You're talking about that. I didn't think that was a penalty at all.
Watkins kicked
Why
him.
not?
That's why Liverpool got
Because
the free kick.
literally, Konate put his foot between the ball and the player, and the player didn't have full control of the ball. And literally,
He
Watkins
dribbled
kicked.
around him. He was running past
They
him.
didn't. They didn't.
Yeah,
Konate literally
in our
caught up
goal.
to him, and he was ahead of him. Konate
Watkins
literally
was
went ahead of him.
Konate put the leg in, and then he went flying. And then there was
Yeah,
just a free kick to Liverpool.
Because Watkins kicked Konate in the back of the leg. That's why
I
it was a
don't
free kick to
know. That's
Liverpool.
crazy. I can't believe
You
it.
got what people got to remember is because someone is bigger and more powerful, and the other guy goes absolutely flying. It's not always a foul. It's as simple as that.
If that was
caught up.
Saliba, it was a red card or a
David Q wasn't refereeing the game. That's how it was.
David Cook wasn't doing it. I was
Yeah,
I
I don't want to get dragged into this. I wanted to speak. I don't want to get dragged into this. Go ahead. Run your show. How about this? Run the show.
Okay. I think Konate's had a few issues which haven't been called. Like against us, there was potentially a penalty with Martinelli where he went flying in kind of crazy. He got sandwiched with Trent. There's things happen in these games, and these defenders have to make lunges and stuff like that. Either they work out or Saliba gets a red card for tapping a guy on the shoulder. So it is what it is. I don't think Saliba's been that bad. People will say maybe he's can't wait to move to Real Madrid and all this kind of stuff, but I think it's just form comes and goes. And I don't think Saliba's as good as everyone says he is, and he's definitely not as bad when people say he's had a bad run. So it's just kind of in between. There's too much hyperbole around it.
I think you guys just like Manchester City, your best players have just not really performed that season. So Saliba,
Yeah.
I know I'm not saying he's been that poor. I don't think he's been that poor, but he's definitely not, stepped up, in terms of keep maintaining that consistency. Gabriel has. I think he's kept his consistency level. But other players in the team, just haven't. Declan Rice, again, he's definitely dropped off in terms of consistency level. You've got quite a few players who just are not maintaining the level, which then plays a part, I feel, anyway. When I watch Arsenal, I'm like, you haven't got, like, it's not like you've got some rubbish team. Like, you've got some good players in there. So why is it not the same? Well, if certain players are not going to, continue performing at that level, you will notice that drop off. And you're seeing it. All of a sudden now, people spoke about Trossard being this, yeah, you know what? Maybe he should come in for Martinelli. He's not played that well this season, in terms of keeping up that consistency. So I'm just like, it is a little bit weird from Arsenal, on top of the way that you guys play. I feel like there's a lot more strain on your back line than there was last season. So now they're being called into question a bit more. And now we're seeing your defense a lot more in terms of the way that they need to defend. So I don't know, man. Just got to keep up the consistency level.
Yeah, I also
What? Go ahead,
I think
Ninja.
I think what Jeannie said is kind of correct, because not only have you guys changed your playing style in comparison to last season. Last season, you were way more dominant. You were beating down teams in the first half already. You were killing off games early. You were way more in control. And this season, maybe it might have had something to do with the Odegaard injury, but then again, you have been sitting a lot. And then obviously, if you look at the teams you've played, all the defensive-minded games which you had, okay, red cards aside, but the Inter game, you guys started off defending the first couple of minutes, and then you only pushed. But then the Newcastle game, you also started defending, conceded the goal, and then you only pushed once again. But where's the dominant Arsenal, which everyone was fearful of in the past 2 seasons? I am yet to see it. And not only Gabriel and Saliba, in my opinion, have had less better performances. I think even Ben White has been very shaky at times on his side. And I think
I just don't think that the stability of the squad's been there that we were lucky to have last season. I think Ben White's just announced he's going to have another injury or an operation on his knee, so he's probably going to be out. Calafiori came in, he got injured. Timber can't do 90 minutes. He keeps coming in and getting injured. Declan Rice, I thought he was going to have a drop-off because he didn't have a break during the summer. I think he had like 2 weeks or 10 days or something like that before he was back playing with us. And you can kind of tell he hasn't really been hitting his levels. Now he's got a broken toe, so obviously that's going to affect him even more. But Odegaard is such an important part of how we press and how the team organizes itself structurally, and also manages to keep opposition teams locked in their final third. Do
you believe the same? Do you believe it's do you believe it's the same as the other Arsenal fans? You're gonna go on a run.
I think that there's no choice. You have to.
Right? What do you think? Forget no choice. What do you think?
I think that it'll happen. I think that Odegaard is going to come back, and I've saw even moments against Man City. In the first half against Man City, we found a way to play that really put pressure on. I know Rodri went down, but then there was also Liverpool. We had a really good half against them. We're showing signs that we can pull it together, but also we're not stitching it together for the full 90 minutes, and we're paying last-minute goals against Man City, which would have been a famous away win there with 10 men. We were so close to having some really amazing moments, but you can only really take the points to get on the board. And now is the time to start not just 10 games in a row. We need to basically win the rest of the season to catch up to a team that's 9 points ahead of us.
Yeah,
I don't think Liverpool's going to drop off.
But then again, I think
what is more likely to happen? City going on a run or Arsenal going on a run?
I think we going on a run. I think us going on a run, because, and I can explain that, because our team, regardless of, once we get it right and our team going on a run, we have that mentality. We've shown it multiple seasons that we can do it, and we can grind out results even if our performances are bad. Like before these 4 losses in a row, we didn't play great football, but we still won our games because we kind of had that resilience. But then with Arsenal, I think you've gotten lucky at times. If you look at the Leicester game, you were lucky in that game, and even the Brighton game, even though you're down to a red card, I feel like Brighton had chances. If they played the last final pass better, they could have won that game. And with you guys, you still have the Fulhams where you tend to drop points. your issue isn't even the big six because you've had an unbelievable record against them, but the small games away from home or even at times at home where you just don't get it right. Looking at the Southampton loss 2 seasons ago, I think, even that now, you
But I
have
feel like we've
dropped
been
too
9
many
games
points.
without Odegaard. Like there's been a clear our attack doesn't really work without him. There's so many flimsy kind of not really going to carry the team attackers in our lineup. We've got Trossard, we've got Havertz, we've got Jesus, Martinelli. None of them can be relied on to like carry the team on their own. Only Saka. So Odegaard's the guy that brings those guys into play, and now we don't have to have any really, really hard games which are going to mess with our momentum again. I feel like we've got a lot of pain out of the way, and it's time to really
West Ham away is a given win. 3 points in the bag.
I mean, West Ham's not that great.
Man United at home under Amorim, a given.
It has to be.
I don't know. Maybe new manager. It's always
Fulham away. Fulham away
is
a
difficult.
given.
I don't think Fulham away is not a given.
I'm trying. You know what? I'm trying to go with Arsenal fans' logic here. I'm trying to convince myself. I'm convincing myself as well. I'm sitting here on my show.
We don't want.
You don't sound convinced,
convincing myself, because apparently I have an agenda, and I need to believe that Arsenal this season can be the same Arsenal last season.
No, he needs his prediction to come true. That's what he needs. He needs his prediction.
The problem with Arsenal fans, not you, Martin. The problem with the Arsenal fans and the Arsenal viewers is that I have seen Arsenal this season not play well. My only evidence that goes for Arsenal is what you did at the end of last season. And I said that 50,000 times. I expected Arsenal to have a continuation about the way they play going into this season. It's the only team that has the same team going on. Yes, you had injuries and red cards, but the style of play is completely different. That is the problem. The way you set up is different. And it's not about, and if it's one player getting injured, change the way you play completely, that is even a bigger problem because we are going into 2 seasons ago when Saliba got injured.
But doesn't every team have that? Like if Haaland gets injured, completely changes the way City plays. If Salah gets injured, it completely changes the way Liverpool plays. Like
when Salah got injured last season, Liverpool still won game, and they still played
but they were running
way.
on like
and the same for City last season when Haaland wasn't there.
And also Odegaard is not. Odegaard is important, but he shouldn't have been that. It should not have been is Rodri or bust. Man City have tried and failed to replace Rodri, and also Rodri is completely different specimen than Odegaard, in my opinion. He's way more important to Man City than Odegaard is to Arsenal.
But I think that's just the function of people don't value Odegaard enough. Like he's that.
No, Odegaard is better. Odegaard is fantastic. The problem is you should have found a solution to the way you play. It cannot be only Saka if Odegaard is not there. And also, you won games without Odegaard there.
Yeah, I think what we're going to see is what Arsenal are about now. Yeah, because 9 points is a big gap.
No, we already saw that in the last 3 games, Jamie. I'm not having this, Jamie. When I said that Arsenal will get 2 points out of the 3 games they played, they ridiculed me. I said that Chelsea, Newcastle, and Inter games, Arsenal aren't winning, and they didn't. I said that the Liverpool game is not. I said that the Liverpool game is not a given. They said no, we're gonna win like we won last season. I said no, you won. Circumstances. I literally said that the Liverpool game is tough. Listen, I don't predict results. I don't see the future. I don't have a magic ball. I'm not a Lord of the Rings. I don't have that magic ball. But I try to predict based on what I see, right? I try. The Liverpool game, Liverpool are coming into that game in a better form than you. And it's proven in the game. Even though you were on the top of that game, you were the better team, right? You still didn't win. Your manager made the one mistake. Your manager made the one mistake that he shouldn't have done. Push the line high when he's winning 2-1 after Gabriel and Timber went out.
Yeah, but what happened? We just had Miles Lewis-Skelly, a kid, come on. Like,
and your manager made the mistake, Martin. And your manager made the one mistake you shouldn't do when you have Skilly and give your playing at the back.
But when he came on,
and I don't even think that's the only issue.
And he said, do not let Salah more than a meter away from you.
And they let Darwin Núñez running 40 yards. Listen, it's not me against you, Martin. I'm just telling you what happened.
But I'm saying that it wasn't a managerial thing. I think it
definitely was a
I
managerial.
think it is.
Look at the
Definitely is
backline
because
at that moment. We had
Yeah, but
Ben
yeah.
White out of
When you
position.
have a,
We had Skelly out of position. We had basically a makeshift
they were not
backline.
out,
Gabriel was
Martin. They
off.
were not out of position. They were a high line, close to the halfway. That's why Darwin Núñez had 40 yards to
We
run
had
behind their
Chippy
back line.
or Ben
Liverpool
White,
is like
Skelly.
this.
It wasn't even our back line. Like it was just
Yeah, but that's not.
tissue paper.
But Martin,
You
I
know-
think it's
you know-
still a
you know what?
managerial issue because Liverpool is like probably the best team in transition. You're looking at Diaz, who's quick. You're looking at Darwin, who's quick. You're looking at Salah, who's not only quick, but like Salah in transition is the best player in the world, probably bar Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe if they're at their best. And if you sat deep, I think it's the way you played against us. Okay, you had 10 men, but the way you played against us with the lead, you could have played against Liverpool, and Liverpool would have definitely had more hard times to break you guys down than playing with a high line, especially when Skelly came in. Regardless of the fact Skelly was close on Salah or far away from Salah, because even Zinchenko said, if you are close to Salah, you're in trouble. If you're far away from Salah, you're in trouble. So I think it's still a
we got
Can I
criticized
present
for,
something to you?
wait.
Oh,
No.
okay.
We get
Khalas.
criticized for parking the bus and not attacking, and then we go and attack when we have a lead against Liverpool, and it costs us a goal.
But
So
I don't
we
think
pretty
it
much
doesn't
can't
really
win in this situation.
But
Like,
does it
you're telling
matter?
us to sit back and not do a high line? Well, then we're not out and attacking.
When you
and
have
maybe
Skelly and
Liverpool
Kivior and
still-
you're winning 2-1 against Liverpool, and Liverpool struggled to break, to break.
we're at home. It's our house. We should be
Hussam.
we should be dominating the game. That's what you
That's
said. Like,
Liverpool. That's Liverpool. I didn't say. And you
people
were
said that
winning
we should have
already,
attacked against Bournemouth.
Martin.
Right?
Already winning. Oh my God, Martin! Don't take my things out of.
You shouldn't be doing highlight because you made those changes. That's what
You
we're
are
saying.
winning. You already
You're
played a
winning.
good game, and you're winning
See
2-1
out.
against
See
Liverpool. Your back
out.
line got injured. Drop the line. It just enter. Winning 1-0. Okay, khalas, we're defending. We know you're not gonna break us. Done. It's over.
Yeah,
It's
but
over.
did you criticize us for that when we
No,
were
No,
winning
I never
against
did. I
City,
never
against
did.
Bournemouth,
Look,
against-
Martin,
I never
think
did. I never
what's
did.
very
You
important.
said that we
Against
had no
Bournemouth.
out option. We
Hold
needed
on,
to,
hold
like,
on, hold
we
on.
couldn't defend that long.
Martin, just stop. When did I criticize? When were you winning against Bournemouth? When?
Against City, you criticized us for not having like more of an attacking output. in the second half.
100% no. I literally, okay, that's wrong because I praised Arsenal for defending and I said 60 were lucky to get a point. So that is wrong. False. I literally said City were very lucky that they got 7 minutes and they conceded at the end from a paintball, as HUSAM say, that they scored. I literally said Arsenal defended heroically. Martin, do you remember me praising Havertz?
I don't know if it was
in the second
specifically
half?
you, but we definitely got a lot of criticism for that.
Yeah, you
saying
did.
that Man
Forget,
City
I
would have
don't care
won.
about other people.
Man City would have won against Bournemouth. They would have won even with 10 men, and they lost with 11. So
Okay.
there's not
Okay,
actual.
the story is, Martin, the story is when I say that Arsenal can go on a run, yes, you can. You have a proof of last season. The problem is your manager at some point this season have made some wrong decisions a lot that I think I don't trust him. As a neutral influencer, I don't trust your manager. I don't trust him to make the right decisions. That's the problem. I don't trust, by the way, I don't trust him to go to Fulham and play the right plan. I just don't.
I don't
don't
trust
trust him.
Inzaghi to do things, but like it's none of my business. Like I don't know.
I'm not asking you, Martin. This is
Martin.
I'm not asking you to take my word for it or not. I'm just telling you my opinion, and it's here for debate.
Yeah,
That
but
is the
I'm not
thing.
here. I'm not here to like convince you otherwise, right? Like if you think it's the manager, you think it's the manager. I think the issues have been outside of the manager. I think they've been external to that,
Ooh,
and I guess everyone decides where they want it to go.
But then again, Martin, I think it's like, can't we see it like factually? Because there was a change in system for you guys, which the manager does, and then it didn't work. And concerning the point that you guys get criticized for the playing style, I think once you win, it doesn't matter the way you play. If you look at Real Madrid the past seasons, they don't have a playing style, they don't have an identity. If they play possession based, if they sit on a low block and grind out results like they did against us in the Champions League, nobody criticizes them because they win. But the issue with you guys is you stop winning at some point this season, which is why now all the criticism is coming in.
So I just don't think that people are taking into account the actual teams we were playing, the fact that we were playing with 10 men in a lot of them, and we had injuries going into them. It's kind of changed the way you play. Like it's just a factor of that. And I don't think it's the manager going, hey, let's play really boring this year and like, you know, not win a lot of games and be like really easy to pass through sometimes. Like he's not telling them to do that. It's not setting up that way. It's just we're changing around people all the time. We don't have those connections subconsciously that players get when they play a lot together, and that's what happens.
Can I ask you? Is Arteta struggling to work out how to win a Premier League? And the reason I say that is because he changes the way his team plays every season, like continuously changes the way they play every season. Is he trying to work out a formula that gets the best out of his team for a complete season? You know, so he's gone down this route now of being a little bit more defensive minded, not taking as many risks, but when goals go in, because then they've got to come out, and because they come out now, what I've noticed is that Arsenal's defence is more out of shape than it was in last season, which is why you're conceding goals, because Saliba's higher up the pitch and Gabriel's higher up the pitch, where I don't think they want to play. They like playing that, you know, a bit more protected, dropping the line a little bit more. So I'm not sure if it's something like that. Yeah, I just feel like he's going through it at the moment. Also, I think Arsenal have had injuries, and they haven't really had major injuries for the last 2 years and can play the same 11 a lot. And I think it just shows that Arsenal's squad is not up there to the level which people like some Arsenal fans think it is. You know, I look at the signings they made. I don't think they improved the squad and take them to the next level. You know, I don't think Marino coming in as a midfielder is anywhere better than any midfielder you got. So he's just taking up a seat. He's just a squad player. I don't think Calafiori is that player either. And I feel like Arsenal just made the wrong signings in the summer to take them to the next level. That's my personal opinion, anyway. Looking from the outside,
I want to push back on the Marino
that's
one.
very true. I think
the
that's
Marino
very
one
true.
is not bad. The Marino looked good when he came
against
on
Chelsea,
against
especially.
Chelsea.
Yeah,
He is a good player. This, by the way,
he's
the
functionally a
attack
jigsaw
from the
piece,
media
like,
is wrong
Yeah.
on Marino. Oh my god! Because Odegaard was not there, they wanted Marino to be the creator like Odegaard, but he's not that guy. He's a guy that connects.
To free Martinelli. That's what it was.
Do you know? I want to say something about this Arteta thing that actually follows what Jamie said. Reality is, I have not seen in the last 2 years that mainstream media press Arteta like they did this season. Everyone now is starting to press Arteta. A lot of people were praising him.
Are you kidding me? He's been under pressure like crazy for 3 years, 4 years.
Nah, not like now.
No. He's been under pressure, but it's a different type of pressure.
Every game has been a must-win for as long as I can remember now.
Expectation factor's gone up. That's what it is.
Yeah. You haven't got the same expectations you had 2 years ago. Now,
the amount of praise
Arsenal
Arteta got about doing a great job for Arsenal, getting back to the
What
top.
has he won?
They're
He's won
challenging
nothing.
Pep.
He's got no
No,
trophies.
but
He's been
that
doing
is
this.
social media and rivals. I'm talking about mainstream media. They
But
always praise
mainstream's
them.
full of, like, rivals and social media.
No,
talk
that's
too.
not
Like,
true. Now everyone is talking about, his job is on the line. I disagree. I thought in the last 2 years, Arteta got way more praise from mainstream media, from ESPN, from all these people. Forget social media and YouTube.
But what about even on this show? Every time I've been
That's
on
not
this
mainstream
show, I've
media,
been
though. If you
asked
call me
about
mainstream
when
media,
he should be sacked. Every single episode, I've been asked about when he should be sacked. So, like, it's nothing new. It's just normal. It's part of it.
That's not if I'm not mainstream media, wallahi. If I'm mainstream media, I made
mainstream
it.
media have been praising him, but I'm saying that there's nothing changed from my world. Like, it's just the same. He has to win, or he's got to get hung from a tree or shot or something, fired out of a cannon. Whatever people want from him. But there's people that have been hating on for many years, and they get louder and louder when we lose a couple of games.
Yeah, I think I also wanted to say something which was, I think, touched on by Andrew. I think Arteta made mistakes in the summer in terms of signings. Like, he really didn't get signings for you to get it over the line to actually win a title. Because I think, Marino, great signing, but then Calafiori wasn't really the guy that's going to win you the league. And I think,
what did he do against Man City? Like, he had an absolute
he had a great goal. Yeah, he had a great goal, but that's not what you need to win the league.
I need that every game. Are you kidding me?
One second, because then again, you didn't we didn't beat you guys last season as well, where he wasn't there, but you still didn't win the league. So my issue with you guys is, once Odegaard isn't available, if you guys have someone that can step in for him, or you can find a different solution rather than just saying, oh, Odegaard is so instrumental for our team, and once he isn't there, yeah, we just tend to struggle. You have to find a solution for all types of outcomes and situations you might get into whilst playing or competing for the league. And that's why I say, on top of letting the likes of Smith Rowe go, the likes of Vieira go on loan, players that are creative, like Odegaard, not to that extent, but have similar profiles, you didn't find any replacement. The same for Reece Nelson. You've played Martinelli week in, week out. You didn't get any attacking players or attacking midfielders in after letting loads of them go. And yes, they weren't up to the level that you need them, but you didn't get any replacements in. And that's why I think maybe the inexperience by Arteta, thinking that the squad that he currently has and only focusing on defense might cost you guys.
I said that it was gross negligence not to sign a striker.
Yeah,
I think that they've failed in that regard. But Odegaard replacement was never really on the list because he's been fit like a fiddle for 3 years straight, basically since he's been here. No one was saying sign an Odegaard cover. Everyone was saying get rid of these guys, ESR, Reece Nelson. I've tried to defend these guys and say we should keep them, but no, I was the idiot for like backing the academy players. So, you know, it's pretty funny for it to come full circle. And the people that were, there's like a whole agenda going on online about Odegaard and how he's too left-footed, he's not that creative. Like you guys don't see it, but within the Arsenal fan base, there's a lot of people that have been hating on him for a long time. So we're coming full circle on things where we see how important he is. Even that pass that he did to set up the goal against Chelsea, no one else in our team is capable of like a beautiful little chip pass like that. So it's just those moments of brilliance that you need. We don't have a lot of moments of brilliance players, and we need to stack the team with more of them in all positions. And yeah, you're right. We didn't fully. I gave the transfer window a 5 out of 10. We didn't deal with the attack, and I think every Arsenal fan is desperate for us. In January, I think you'll see a lot of pressure to push the boat out to sign someone to make up for the mistake of not signing someone at the start of the season.
Ain't they having a meeting or something? Ain't they flown over or something to have a meeting?
I heard something about a summer transfer budget flying over with the Cronkies, but I'm more concerned about January. I haven't given up on the season, so I want.
Then you shouldn't. You shouldn't give up on the season, because January, I believe that Arsenal, if you go and fork the money for Osimhen, for example, up top, I think it solves a lot of your problems. It elevates pressure of your defense. I don't think Gyökeres leaves in January. It might be tough. But I believe if Arsenal go and get someone with a big personality up top to replace one of Havertz or Martinelli, I think you elevate pressure of Odegaard on that right side of Saka. The oppositions will not only make the plan to stop your right side, but they will have to worry about a striker or a left winger or someone from that. The problem is you don't have that guy apart from Bukayo Saka, which is very obvious in the Chelsea game. Maresca literally did the whole plan is to stop Bukayo Saka. It was very obvious. Every time Bukayo Saka tried even to dribble, he was getting kicked by Colwell or by Kukurea or by somebody. You know what I mean?
Even Neto tracked back.
Like, it was kind of very obvious. That's why Arsenal need another guy to step up, which is what City had when they had Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland and Foden last season as well. Now, this season, City don't have anybody but Haaland. It's just very simple. You mark Haaland, you stop Haaland, you stop Manchester City. Gavardiol pops out here and there, but that's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Liverpool, because now Luis Diaz is there, Mohamed Salah is getting more space because Luis Diaz is stepping up. That happens all the time. You need to find someone, and January is very key for Arsenal, in my opinion. You relied on you remember me and you when we said it's a 50-50 risk if Martinelli goes back to the 2 seasons form when he had 20 plus GA, when he used to score goals for fun from that left side. That didn't work out as much. It didn't, for whatever reason. Trossard is not performing very well up top or on the left. Kai Havertz, for some reason, is turning into a fight boy instead of someone who wants to play football. He wants to fight instead of wanting to play football. He got bullied in the Chelsea game. That's reality. And I don't know, maybe Odegaard would unlock everyone. If you think that, I don't know, to be honest.
I think our team is not built out of moments players. It's built out of a system. And if the system's not working, it's going to look like crap, right? And it just looks like crap when it's really not, when it's not buzzing. So either we're going to see it go back to that level, or we're going to see more problems, and then you'll really see the Arteta getting fired crew taking control.
Let me do the Jay Finn is saying Liverpool defenders were always better. Konate was not better than Gabriel and Saliba. If you put Arsenal defenders under Klopp, you will see them make way more mistakes. Under Klopp, Liverpool defenders play one-on-one in a high line with your left back up the pitch high. Jay, I disagree with you. I disagree. Completely disagree. Arsenal last season, Saliba and Gabriel used to dominate forwards on their own.
But isn't it because I think they had a lot of coverage by Rice, and this season, obviously because Rice is out, or even Partey hasn't had the greatest of his performances, they were more exposed. Because I feel like we had to give Van Dijk more praise because they were extremely exposed, especially under Klopp's system. They concede a lot, but even now you can see once Konate and Van Dijk are fully fit, available, play together every game, these two are units behind, and that's taken into consideration when you're playing with a McAllister and Gravenberch, who aren't known for the defensive work.
Gravenberch has stepped up. Gravenberch, by the way, this season.
He kind of stepped up.
Defensively, by the way, Gravenberch, by the way, the interceptions, the tackles, the coverage for Trent, the coverage for Robertson, he has been immense. People just think Gravenberch is good on the ball only. Just watch the games and see how many times.
He's a defender.
How many times he covers Robertson
more than this season under Slot? Do you think Trent's been like leaving Konate less exposed this season?
Yes, sometimes. Sometimes.
I think Saliba gets exposed a lot by his wingbacks just disappearing up the field a lot.
He was so dominant. He was so dominant individually last season. I don't think he is this season, and I don't know why. He's not as dominant.
In the Chelsea game, the way you guys scored that goal by Neto was because I was after a corner or something. Saliba was way out on the left-hand side, and we had like Rice and Partey trying to like both replace him in the back line there. And then we've seen Saliba as the last action of the game, putting in a cross from the left-hand side. Like he seems to be doing a lot more drifting around this season, but maybe it's just a function of coverage.
There was even the part with Fofana had the chance in the second half. He was just like Saliba couldn't, and this is Fofana, not the greatest like heavyweight defender, but Fofana was easily shaking him off.
He gets that on target.
Have history, don't they?
Oh, did it? Oh, I don't know.
We used to play together at St. Etienne.
Okay, cool, yeah. Okay. No, but he's right. But even Gabriel had a very impressive start to the season this season. You know what I mean? Very impressive start. Scored a couple of crucial goals, but even he's like a bit. I saw him at Stamford Bridge on the left wing sometimes. He was on the left wing at Stamford Bridge.
I don't think they got worse. I think their shape's worse this season. I think that's what it is. I think their defence is out of more shape because you see in Gabriel and Saliba having to step up further up the pitch this season because the shape has changed a little bit. And I just don't think that suits their game. And that's what they're getting caught out with. I don't think they've got worse.
They look like they wanted to go to. He wants to go to more to defensive.
Yeah, but they're conceding goals doing that, exactly. and then they have to come out their shape to get goals.
I don't think Arteta trusts them as much.
That's weird. Though,
for some reason, he doesn't trust them as much.
That's weird, though. Why?
Well, he's been trying to do defensive things. Like we had a Marino, Rice, Partey midfield, and then everyone's like, "Well, that's rubbish. It's too defensive. You're not going to attack." So he's trying to like fix issues, like in the back line by overstacking the midfield defensively, which then hurts us attacking. It's been a hard balance, and I think he said it's been a nightmare, like quote unquote nightmare for him to make starting 11s with like late news on injuries and then suspensions and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully, the nightmare is going to end for me.
The nightmare is gonna end. Hopefully your nightmare is gonna end.
Oh my god!
What?
Yeah, a new video.
Have you seen the David Coote stuff that's just come out?
No, I didn't. I'm trying to look for it.
Oh my word! Oh dear, he's done.
What did he do?
I saw him in Thailand with the boys.
No, it's not that. It's not that. It's recreational stuff that he's been caught taking.
They'll say it's AI. They'll say,
he loves that washing up powder. Loves the washing up powder. He does. Loves the washing up powder. He does.
What is the video?
It's
wow! I just seen it.
And we can't say it because you get monetized. So
yeah. No.
Oh.
Oh, it's him. It's a photo with him sniffing something with an American dollar or something.
Yeah, he's drawing the lines, but not the right ones.
Everyone knows what
Yeah,
that is.
Now it all
By the
makes
way-
sense why his lines are always a bit edgy.
By the way,
He's
not
cutting them on
sugar.
VAR. He's cutting the line on VAR.
he's not-
what
he's
you
Hold
not-
on.
guys do.
How do you
he's
know?
not
How do you know
sugar.
that's him though? How do you know that's him?
Oh,
Though?
he's doing the AI. Is it AI? Is it AI? Is that what
No,
it
how
is?
do you know
Yeah.
that's him? His face is not there in the video.
That's definitely his nose. Someone
There's a
gonna say.
video.
His nose.
There's a
I'm watching the
bro.
video now.
Jamie's been studying his nose. He can spot anyone's nose.
And bro, this is weird.
He's done if this is true. Let's face it. That's like
Does it look like him? It might
Europe.
look like him. It might not be him, but you know.
If it's plausible deniability, isn't it? That's what it is.
yeah.
That might not be him. That someone found someone that looked exactly like him and just dropped the video.
Could be.
Yeah,
it
probably
could
some
be.
determined Liverpool fan
You're
that
so
wants to
naive,
end
bro.
it for all.
It could be. It could be.
He's innocent.
Next, there'll be a video of someone looking like.
What do
him
you mean
wrecking
he's innocent? He's innocent to what?
No, you're like just saying, oh, it can't be him. You know? Yeah, I don't. It's definitely him.
Why would a Premier League referee have someone filming him sniffing a line? That doesn't make any sense to me in my head. Like,
Cocaine's a hell
That
of a
would be
drug.
so irresponsible. I don't think that's him.
That's the only bit that confuses me with this whole thing. I'm like,
But
a
he
lot
sat
of
there
it,
in the
I have
video
to
and
question
said all
about,
that stuff.
Yeah.
You know that was him saying in that video.
anyway,
right?
let's anyway, listen, people. I want to thank everyone that is here. G's channel is in the description. Of course, Jamie Phillips' channel in the description as well. I'm gonna put NJ's channel in the description as well. We're gonna put it in the description. All these guys' channels are in the description. So hit that like button, people, before you go. Let's get to 300 likes before you go. We're less than 20 likes away from 300 likes. Guys, subscribe to the channel if you know. How many subscribers are we on now? We
Not
are
enough.
27,100. Thank you, people.
There you
You're getting
go.
me there. Brilliant, 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 people. Appreciate you guys. And I will see you guys on MHF because this will take you to MHF where me and HUSAM definitely will discuss David Coot. It's going to be fun. But we'll see you guys and we're out of here, people.